What is going on, guys? It's Dino here. Welcome to a movie review for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I've seen the movie twice now, so I can carefully go through and analyze the film and let you guys know what I thought and what you should expect going in. So, first I'm going to start off by going through kind of the minor stuff in the movie, basic plot elements and how the movie felt and the tone of the film, etc. And then we're going to move into spoiler territory a little bit further down the road. I'll let you guys know once I do that so that you can go see the film for yourself and then finish the video later on. Or you can just avoid it if you haven't seen the film, or you can watch through if you haven't seen the film and you don't care about spoilers, and or if you have seen the film. So, we're going to start off with kind of who's in the film, the actors they play, or the actors that are playing characters, sorry. So it was directed by J.A. Bayona, who also directed The Orphanage and Monster Calls, which are pretty renowned horror films in the Hollywood, I guess, community. I have not seen them personally. I should, though, now that I've seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. He seems like a very talented director. There's a lot of shots in the film that are just, they're so action-filled, and the tone and lighting, he does such a good job with the lighting in this film. There's several scenes with the silhouettes being played with, and it's pretty cool. All the dinosaur silhouettes and stuff like that. He also has a lot of, or in the film, there's a lot of darker tones and more of a gothic feeling towards the end, especially, which he brought over from his expertise with the horror genre, which made this film very unique, very, very dark, like I said, and there was several very, very sad moments in the film. If you have seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because holy crap, there is one scene, man. I'll talk about that once we get into spoilers, but for now we're going to stay with the basic plot, etc. So we have Chris Pratt plays Owen Grady once again, and Owen Grady has not as much of a character change. Actually, no, yeah, he has a decent character change, story arc in this film compared to the first one. Yeah, he changes more in this one, I'd say. So he gets a lot more development, and he's, of course, Chris Pratt's amazing actor. He did excellent with all his lines, and his role was done pretty well. Bryce Dallas Howard, who played Claire Dearing, is also pretty good. She has a very good change from the first movie. They actually make a very big point that she's wearing boots now instead of her stupid high heels. So we can't have a T-Rex chasing her again, because that would be... in high heels, in high heels, we can't have that scene again. So she's now the head of the dinosaur protection group, and they're all trying to save the dinosaurs from the island as a dormant volcano has become active on Isla Nublar, known as Mount Sibo. And if you guys are familiar with the Jurassic Park franchise, lore, Jurassic Park lore, you know that that's been there. It hasn't been specifically mentioned in the films, but it has been there. Then we have computer analyst Franklin Webb, who is played by Justice Smith. He does very well. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that he has severe anxiety, and he kind of panics throughout the entire movie, which is exactly what I would see myself doing, because I have anxiety as well. So that was a very relatable character for me. I know a lot of people hated him, or maybe not hate, but just disliked him as a character, but I felt like he was pretty cool. Then we have Zia. I forget who plays her, but she's a paleo veterinarian. Her character was pretty good. Don't see how they could have improved it very much, based off of what we see in the movie anyway. Or in the final cut, sorry. Their characters were all good. Then we had Ken Wheatley, who was just another generic mercenary dude. on the islands in the Jurassic Park franchise. He was different. I'm not going to say how, but it was just so slight. I didn't see his point. I mean, they had to have him in the film apparently, but it was kind of disappointed in his character. I forget who plays him, and forgive me for that. James Cromwell played as Lockwood, and he did a very good job. He had a couple pretty cool quotes as well, and I'll tell you guys about that in the spoiler territory, of course. Let's see. Eli Mills, I forget who plays him. I really need to look up these actors. Eli Mills, he was the, I guess, steward of Lockwood's estate following his leave of college, and he was kind of taking care of the financial investment and spending the money in a way that Lockwood would like, even though they're not communicating about it, and Lockwood ends up regretting it down the road. So yeah, he kind of is in charge of the mission to go save the dinosaurs, which then gets all the other characters involved, and they go to the island. As you guys know from the trailers, the island, or the volcano, starts to erupt. They all have to get off the island after capturing some of the dinosaurs, and then the film turns from a rescuing them and bringing them to another island so that they can live peacefully without human intervention, without cages, just kind of free, just as Mother Nature had intended. They would be able to do that to of course, it was obvious based off of the trailers, but they go back to the mainland, or to the Lockwood estate itself, and then the dinosaurs start getting auctioned off and all that good stuff, and the Indoraptor. Don't want to say anything else about the overall that portion of the movie because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Yeah, that was so. The film was much darker, as I said. Much darker, much quicker paced than most of the other films, which is perfectly okay. It just it didn't feel long enough. 2 hours and 10 minutes. It still didn't feel long enough. And like I could watch these movies infinitely. Just give me a 24-hour long movie and I'll watch it. Maybe not at one sitting, but I'll definitely watch it in a week at least. So yeah, it was very quick paced, especially on the island. It kind of stalled a little bit towards the middle of the movie, but it picked up very quickly. And the ending was magnificent. Jeff Goldblum in this movie, great. Even though he didn't have much of a role as Ian Malcolm, he's still the common sense character. Definitely correct about everything he's been saying in all the movies, and humans never learn, so I guess that's kind of fun. I loved seeing him back in the movie. I wish, hopefully we get Sam Neill back to play Alan Grant sometime in the future. I think we might in the third film, but don't know. Yeah, so much darker, much more intense, much quicker, a lot more action, a lot more dinosaurs. If you love dinosaurs, even if you're not a Jurassic Park fan, watch this movie. It's a dinosaur movie. It's like half and half, finally. We get the amount of dinosaurs that we've been waiting for the entire franchise, which we'll probably get more in Jurassic World 3. So it's going to be very fun to see what we get in the future. Henry Wu is back again, played by B.D. Wong. His character this time around was good. It just didn't have as much of a role as in Jurassic World, of course, but it was pretty interesting. And then we had Maisie, who I forget her name too. Maisie's the little girl who is Lockwood's granddaughter. I forget her name, like the actress's name, and I feel bad for that. So I enjoyed the movie a lot, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of where it places amongst the other films in the franchise and its rating, and then I'll move into spoiler territories for those of you guys who want to stick around. I'm going to have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10, pretty good. And I gotta say, it's probably my second favorite Jurassic movie. Um, it was very close. I think Jurassic Park is. It's not as entertaining to me personally, but it is the movie that started the franchise. It deserves the credit, and yeah, it definitely deserves the credit for being the film that started it all. And then Fallen Kingdom. After that, Jurassic World, and then The Lost World, and then obviously Jurassic Park 3, very last, because of Alan. But God, that movie was just.
Alan! Alan!
Um, the Spinosaurus was magnificent. Alan Grant, magnificent. The rest of the movie could not have cared less about, honestly. Um, it was so pointless. So let's, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed my non-spoiler review area, and if you guys did, and you don't want to stay through for the spoilers, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. More future movie reviews and gameplay of Jurassic World Evolution and Battlefront, etc. Future live streams, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, or next video cut. Not episode, this isn't a regular series. So we're gonna dive into some more specific scenes and stuff I liked in the movie, and stuff I disliked, because there's also a fair bit of that. So I loved the intro scene, was magnificent. J.A. Bayona uses lighting and silhouettes, like I kind of said earlier, to display the T-Rex as he's trying to chase this guy who was manning a control panel in order to shut a Mosasaurus gate, as these other guys in a submarine are getting remnants of the Indominus Rex skeleton in order to reproduce a more fierce hybrid for military use in the future. And so they get that successfully, and then the T-Rex comes out of nowhere, starts trying to eat the dude. He gets on the ladder, and then eventually he gets eaten by a Mosasaurus, and I think that's in the trailer. It might be, but that was definitely easily the best intro to the Jurassic Park movies I've ever seen. Of the 5 movies, of course. So, then from there we moved on to Lockwood's estate. He kind of informs us about how him and Hammond had started off with their enterprises and engines formation and all that good stuff. And he kind of goes on about how they made mistakes, and he wants to correct them by sending off a team to rescue the dinosaurs and bring them to a sanctuary on an island off the mainland that he owns, kind of like a Site B sort of thing. And that is all good in theory, except for the fact that Eli Mills, who's actually in charge of financing the operation, has different intentions. Of course, you know what those are. Yeah, so he goes in a different direction with that. Lockwood has no idea about this, too, by the way. And so he kind of says that they had learned to walk before they could run. Or, sorry, they tried to run before they could walk in terms of genetics and what they were doing with genetic splicing and all that good stuff. And so then we move on to the island. Actually, no. Before we go onto the island, we meet Owen again. Owen and Claire kind of start talking. Owen decides to join the adventure or the trip last second. He's on the plane once they're ready to leave. That's when we also meet Franklin and Zia. Actually, no, we meet them in the Dino Protection Group office. And I love, okay, just real quick, there are 3 jabs at Trump in this movie that I found hilarious, and they're not like political statements, they're just kind of jokes. One of One of them is in the very beginning when we have Jeff Goldblum narrating as Ian Malcolm, of course, talking about the dinosaurs, how they should leave the dinosaurs on the island to die because they had their chance 65 million years ago. They lost it. Game over. So he's intelligent in knowing that if they intervene continually with the dinosaurs, things are going to keep going bad, as they have in every single other film so far. So he's against them going to save the dinosaurs. And on the news broadcast, you know the little I guess captions at the bottom of the screen on news broadcasts. It does quick like run throughs the current news and stuff like that. Maybe like a little school shooting here, just at the bottom. God, that's such a dark example. I'm sorry. At the bottom of the screen, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. There was one, and it said the U.S. president is against saving dinosaurs as he doesn't believe they exist in the first place.
CNN and MSNBC are fake news. Fake news.
Which was a huge jab at Trump for the whole fake news stuff. That was kind of hilarious. Here's another jab at him during when him and Hillary going through their election campaigns. He called Hillary a nasty woman. Ken Wheatley calls Zia a nasty woman at one point, which is a direct quote from Trump, of course. And it's like word for word exactly what he said too. That's not all he said. And then towards the very end of the film, what was it? There was a third one. Crap. Oh yeah. Ebrosol, who's played by Toby, I forget his name again. Gosh, I forgot all the actors' names. Ebrosol has a comb over, just like Trump, and it flaps up when the Indoraptor's trying to kill him. Oh man, so funny. So yeah, they're on the island. The baryonyx scene was pretty cool. Trying to escape from that. Franklin was, panicking and stuff. I found his character relatable. A lot of people didn't. Found him annoying. Again, I have anxiety. I can understand exactly how he felt in that situation. Especially when the ladder drops down. They're trying to crawl out of a hatch, and the ladder drops down, brings them right back face to face with the baryonyx. And he didn't like that, I don't think. Carnotaurus was awesome. He went and fought a Sinoceratops after he saw them in the gyrosphere, and Owen Grady was kind of on the side. He was going to eat him, and then the Sinoceratops appeared. And then the T-Rex, of course, has to do his entire stupid appearance and show up in general and just stomp on the Carno. We have too much of the T-Rex. It's over and over. The same roar, too. Like, we've seen it every movie. And I know people like the T-Rex. It's getting old for me. And that's one of the complaints I have about this film is overusing the T-Rex, just like all the other Jurassic Park movies. Except for the first one. The first one was understandable because they had to set up everything. But following that, yeah, it's just unexcusable, personally. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Escaping, there was one long cut, or one long sequence where they're in the gyrosphere underwater, and the actors actually had to film that underwater in a gyrosphere that they made. And it was all in one shot. It was very, very intense, very amazing. Great cinematography on the director's part, and that was magnificent. I loved that scene. Of course, then they figure out it's all a lie. Chris Pratt's paralyzed by the lava. Or no, he gets shot by Ken Wheatley with a tranquilizer dart. And then he's paralyzed and all the lava's coming, and a Sinoceratops starts licking his face and stuff. That was pretty funny. I don't think it was too unbelievable. Um, there were definitely other things, stupid quotes. Yeah, Franklin had a quote where he said, "We're not compatible," to Owen. After Owen, or it's because Franklin's going on about how riding a 1,000-pound horse is one of the most dangerous things you can do and stuff like that. And Owen is like, "Oh yeah, I rode on a bicycle or on a motorcycle through woods with raptors," and he's like, "Oh, we're not compatible." I don't get why he said that. I know he's not gay. It's just maybe a nerd kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, then moving on. Oh god, the saddest scene I've seen in movies recently. Maybe. Yeah, actually, yes, it is definitely up there. Is when they get off the island, they're on the boat. Okay, Claire and Owen and Franklin had just got back on the boat, and everyone, the entire crew of the ship, is looking out at the dock where they had just left, and there's a brachiosaurus running down the dock with like smoke clouds and debris and fire all behind it, and it's just a huge sauropod trying to get down the dock, and he starts calling out once he gets to the end of the dock, and it's just this sad bellowing of like, "Screw you guys, why'd you leave me?" kind of thing. And he was just trying to get on the boat, trying to get away from the fire. The smoke was coming, so he kept his head up and he was trying to breathe. And all while this is going on, there's just sad music, and everyone's watching this happen. And everyone, like, there's tears on Claire's face, there's tears on a bunch of the crew members' faces. And so it's trying to get air, and it's reaching above the cloud, or the smoke clouds, and because that's toxic gases pretty much from a volcano. And it's rearing up on its hind legs at the very last attempt of getting some clean air and surviving, and it just starts bellowing, and it's, oh god, oh, that's gonna hurt me for a long time. And I know it's just an animal. I love animals, and you can't watch that scene and not tell me you did not feel sympathetic for it at all. Yeah, that was a pretty good scene. Ironically enough, first dinosaur we see in the franchise on Isla Nublar in Jurassic Park, Brachiosaurus. Last dinosaur we see on Isla Nublar, Brachiosaurus. And it was a perfect tie-in, symbolizing the end of what we know about the Jurassic Park franchise on Isla Nublar and the Five Deaths Islands. So, oh, man. From there on, we were in new territory. We had the auction scene, which was pretty good. Maisie finds out that the Indoraptor's in the basement. She gets locked in her room. That was okay. Kind of reminded me of Cinderella in a way. Just a tiny bit, getting locked in her room kind of thing. But she's smart. She figured a way out. Then she went through all the effort to unlock the frickin' door, and then she just goes out the window anyway because there's a guard in the hallway, or on the staircase. Sorry. So, yeah, that was. She gets out. She's discovering all this stuff that's going on, the auctions and all that. A lot of rich people coming in. The Stygimoloch, or a Stygimoloch, is imprisoned in a cell right next to Owen and Claire. And it helps them to escape because Chris Pratt, God, Owen, keep messing up the names. Owen agitates him and he breaks through the brick wall. Then he gets led into the elevator and he goes around the auction room, starts headbutting people, all while the Indominus Rex is in the cage. That thing is freaking scary, I gotta say. And like they did a demonstration of what it, and just bringing it up out of the basement. They were raising it up, and there was like flashing lights, and we saw bits of it here, bits of it there, part of its teeth, part of its claws, all that stuff. And it's like we have we're gonna display a new prototype of, preview a new prototype of the most dangerous, of a hybrid of the two most dangerous creatures that have ever walked the earth. God, I'm screwing that up so bad, but when you see the film, you know what I'm talking about. And it, like, the music and the cinematography in this movie was great. And it made, like, a shiver run down my spine seeing it revealed for the first time. Even though I've already seen it. But just the atmosphere that the movie sets up was perfect. Now, so the continuing off of the Indoraptor scene, after everyone's running away and all the dinosaurs being shipped off to the buyers and stuff from the auction, Ken Wheatley decides to go in the frickin' enclosure with it. He shoots it twice with a tranquilizer. It's not tranquilized, it's pretending to be tranquilized. And it smiles. The Indoraptor frickin' smiles, okay? That was so stupid. Oh, that upset me so much. And, I mean, it made up for it in the next 30 seconds of the film, but it's such a stupid, just little... God, it made it look kind of like a comic book character. And that was just stupid for a second. And then it goes in, it frickin' bites his arm straight off after lifting him to the top of the cage, dropping him, and then eating him. Like, if they made this movie R, I would understand. They could have gone so deep into, like, just killing people in this movie. Let's see. So then there's the whole Indoraptor. It's kind of like a cat and mouse extended sequence, which is fine. It's pretty cool. Blue versus the Indoraptor at the end. Indoraptor gets impaled by the Triceratops skeleton after falling through the greenhouse roof. That was okay. Then, so we figure out something very interesting. That is that Maisie is the first human clone of the Jurassic franchise. So we start off, like, in the movie, before Lockwood gets killed by Eli, I might add, Lockwood has a picture book, and he's looking through it, and he's always had this picture book with him. And Maisie tries to look in it, and he kind of shuts the book, just shuts it up. And then in a future scene, she starts complaining about Eli trying to sell the dinosaurs in an auction. Lockwood doesn't believe him. He actually was not a villain in this movie, contrary to what I was expecting personally. He doesn't believe her, and then she tries to get a picture out of the picture book. Not quite. He wakes up from his sleep, and then she tells him about that stuff. She didn't get to see what the picture was. And then later on, after she finds out Lockwood is dead, she gets a picture from his book, and it's a picture of their maid, Iris, with her. Except for the fact that Iris is like 40 years younger than how she is in the movie. So that's kind of like, oh God, why is that? Answers, then we find out that she was a clone of Lockwood's daughter, who died in a car accident. So, just, God, imagine being being chased by dinosaurs, and your parents, not even your parents, some dude comes out and tells you you're a clone. You're not a real person. You were designed after this person. Like, oh my God, she's gonna need therapy for the rest of her freaking life. Holy crap! And so then Owen and Claire, at the end of the movie, they're together. So I think they're all gonna be kind of like a family. Since Eli gets killed by a T-Rex, screw the T-Rex once again. The Carnotaurus was right behind the car. But they have the T-Rex come out of nowhere, and he doesn't notice the T-Rex is there at all. And then it just eats him. Oh God. Oh, the T-Rex eats another person, and then it gets the same roar from all the other movies over and over again, when we could have had a Carnotaurus killing him. Like, that would have been freaking awesome. I'm sorry if I hate the T-Rex too much, and you guys probably like them. I just annoyed. That's all that we get for carnivores from the films, and oh well. I mean, what can you do? I gotta give the fans what they want. And I don't want it, but hey, I got those new dinosaurs throughout the film somewhere, so it's pretty cool. And we end off the film with Ian Malcolm going on about how genetic power has been unleashed. We'll have to adapt to new challenges, new trials, new terrors, and welcome to...
These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.
And God, it sets up... We got the dinosaurs running all over the place. Blue is in some suburban district. The T-Rex is going to eat a lion from a zoo. The Mosasaurus is eating surfers. Pteranodons are flying everywhere. And there is an end credit scene, by the way. And there is a bunch of Pteranodons in Las Vegas. So, oh god, this third movie, man. Ooh, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit, lit, lit. I cannot wait. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like? What did you not like? Tell me what you thought about that Brachiosaurus scene. 'Cause God, that was... I've heard that's like the most talked about scene right now throughout the movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great evening / day / whatever the hell the time is that you're watching this, and whatever you want to apply it to. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.